Time to head to the voicemail of Truth and Reason. This one about the Cavs.
I would like to know, would the Cavs make push before the deadline or on the deadline?
So, Sam Amico, what do you think? Do they try to get something done sooner rather than later? Do they, the deadline is there because it usually increases the urgency to make a trade. The other thing we've heard is teams are kind of ramping up the Caris LeVert thing. We're hearing national reports, and I know you wrote something about that as well.
Without question, they are still on the lookout for more backcourt scoring. You added Rondo, who has increased his scoring average in just the 3 games he's played with the Cavaliers. He's getting more of an opportunity and more shots, so that only makes sense. But, when you talk about Colin Sexton, who averaged 24 points a game last season and was averaging 16 this year through the first 8 games, and then you talk about Rubio, who was averaging 13 and a half. You want to go out and get some more backcourt scoring. Now, that said, the Cavs are exploring that. But that said, Darius Garland, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Lauri Markkanen, probably Isaac Okoro and Kevin Love. Those guys aren't going anywhere right now. This team has been doing too well with those guys. So I don't suspect that we will see Cavs GM Kobe Altman make a big splash before the deadline. That said, they're very interested in Caris LeVert. They've already talked to the Pacers. They remain interested in LeVert. How they would go about making a trade for him. Who Caris LeVert, by the way, very available. How they would do that remains to be seen if they have the pieces to do that. There's some talk about maybe with Ricky Rubio's deal expiring. That's very valuable in today's NBA when it comes to a trade chip as an expiring contract. He'll be 32 at the start of next season. As great as he's been for the Cavs, he'll be 32 and coming off major knee surgery. You don't know where he stands, not to mention the fact that he's going to be a free agent, unrestricted this offseason. So, we continue to hear the names like Caris LeVert, Terrence Ross, the veteran for the Magic, who's just a pro's pro and can fill it up and wouldn't disrupt your chemistry. And Orlando is probably not looking to, for a ton for him in return. We hear those names. We hear Buddy Hield, who had a great game against the Cavs, and we see why there's a lot of interest. He is supposedly available. Are these the kind of guys that you can get without shaking up your core, without disrupting what has been working? If the answer to that is yes, and it may be, we will have to wait till probably closer to the February 10th trade deadline. But the answer to that may be yes. Maybe we can get one of these scorers who can not only help us now, but be a part of the future. I suspect that the Cavs will make a deal of some sort because, regardless of how well things are going now, there's no question that they need another threat beyond Darius Garland when it comes to consistent scoring in the backcourt. So, I foresee them making a trade. I don't foresee them making a big splash, and that's okay.